Hello, and welcome to my first video worksheet, I guess I would call it. This is something kind of fun called a Droodle, Droodle. Droodle. Um, it's an exercise in thinking outside the box. What you're going to see are a number of pretty abstract pictures that don't necessarily mean anything. But what I want you to do is to try and think of something that the drawing could be. So this is the first drawing, and let me just kind of walk you through this, that this in your mind might be the entire drawing, or this might only be a very small part of the drawing. That is, this bar might go farther away. This open space might be completely empty over here, or there might be something over here. But your job on a Google Doc or on a piece of paper is to write down three, and this is important, three things that it might be. Because I'm not going to pause, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and then write down, spend some time looking at this, picture and thinking to yourself what you think it might be. Now, I know there are people who aren't going to pause the video and who are just going to go straight through, because I will tell you what the artist intended for the thing to be. So let's go ahead and do this one so you can get a sense of what it is we're talking about. This is it. This is kind of it. Do you think that this area here is solid while this is open, or do you think these two things are solid? And this is drawn on purpose. This is a baseline. So, what do you think it could be? Please pause the video now. And when we come back, I will tell you what the artist thought it was. Now, there's a bunch of things I could tell you from having given these over the years, but I'm afraid that people will just not be interested and skip to the end. So please pause the video now and continue in a moment after you've written what you think this drawing is. All right, so it really doesn't matter what you wrote down. It really doesn't, as long as it's something that you think, it could be. This is actually a Frank Zappa. He was a musician in the 70s, a Frank Zappa album cover, and it's called "The Ship Arriving Too Late to Save the Witch." A lot of times I get people saying, "Oh, I don't want to tell you," because people will just write down what else I'm saying. So this is the bow of a big ocean liner, or a boat. I guess it'd be a pretty big witch. This is supposed to be her pointy hat that she has just drowned. So the ship arriving too late to save the witch. So do you get the idea? This is drawing 2. Please pause your video now and write down 3 things you think that it might be. All right, did you write something down? This one is, again, I'm only telling you what the artist thought that it was, but it could be anything, and I really want to see what your responses are. But this is a shark eating Mickey Mouse. Now you may say, well, those don't look like the ears, but I'm not the one that drew it, right? That's what their interpretation of this was. I've actually gotten some pretty creative ones for this one. So please write down 3 things that you think this might be. Please pause the video now. This one, when I look at it, I don't want to tell you, I have a very specific idea about what I think it looks like. But this is 4 cannons shooting a man in the middle. So we're looking from the top down on his head, and these are cannon. Now it seems to me that the cannons on the other side would be in danger of being damaged, or those people being hurt, but that's what the person said that it was. This is actually, I have 2 favorites in this set, and this is my first favorite. Now it looks like I angled it a little bit. Either it angled in the scanner or it angled here, but it's supposed to be flat, so there's no angle there. Please pause the video now and try to write down 3 things that you think this might be. All right, this is actually one of my favorites because of the perspective. This is a man washing the floor. And you think, what? What? How can that be? This is his butt. His head would be on the other side of this, his back up here. And these are the bottoms of his feet, right? That you can see the bottom of his shoes as he's washing the floor. And this is the bucket that he's using to wash with. I really like that one because it's something that you wouldn't expect. You don't normally look at a person from their butt side when they're washing the floor. Yes, I know I'm presenting. This is actually the second favorite that I had in this particular set. Please pause the video now and write down 3 things that you think this is. So one of the things I like about this is that, what do you think this line means? Is this empty space, or is this a solid? Is this on the outside empty space, or is this a solid? Right? Because that's going to depict what you think these 2 objects are. Are they in a solid piece here, or is this a solid and you're looking through a hole? So anyway, the artist's explanation for this is a soldier walking his dog. I really like this one. Again, it's the forced perspective. You're like, what? Soldier? This is the rifle, right? It's over his shoulder. I don't know if you can see me in the picture, but it's over his shoulder, and so he has just passed. His head would be here, and he's carrying. So this is the end of the barrel. So the butt of the rifle, the part that you hold and put against your shoulder, would be down here, and this is the wagging tail of his dog. And although I do have more, this is the last one we're going to do today. Would you please pause the video now and write down 3 things that you think this is? All right, so this is a little bit historical. In the old days, televisions were very large and sat directly on the floor, not like a real lightweight flat screen that they have now, but it might take 2 fairly strong people to actually lift these things up off the up out of the box and onto the floor. These are antenna because in the old days you didn't have cable. Cable wasn't a thing, and they used to call these rabbit ears, and you would constantly play with the rabbit ears to try and get the best quality picture. This is the dog tail because this is a dog watching television.